Etep from the Place to Be Reviews. We got another video for you today. Let's take a look at Viola Davis's comments about the Woman King. It opens widespread tomorrow. So let's talk about this article that dropped from Bounding into Comics. Big shout out to them. On the other. Oh, yeah, I almost forgot to tell you. Do you want to send us stuff? Because this is how you send us stuff. We have a P.O. Box now. That's right. P.O. Box 924, Prudenville, Michigan 48657. If you have anything you'd like to send in to the Place to Be Reviews, that's where it goes, and that's where your packages will be coming from as well when I ship things out to you, my Kazooians. Finally, women will have a girl boss moment in a movie that they've never had before, ever in the history of time, and it's steeped in historical accuracy too.
Sure, Jan.
How you doing? Etep and welcome back to the channel. We're going to talk about this article regarding the Woman King, and then we're going to talk a little bit about what is going on with the trailer. Where is it at with the critics on Rotten Tomatoes right now? And we'll just drop in a few little fun facts about story behind this movie. Viola Davis says audiences who don't see the Woman King are supporting the narrative that black women cannot lead the box office globally.
But that's not the case here.
Well, I mean, right off the top of my head, I think audiences would not have a problem supporting black female-led movies if they're well written, executed, have a compelling story, protagonist, antagonist, a little bit of conflict there, and not focus and try to make a tribe that engaged in, taking smaller, weaker tribes and people and, enslaving them and selling them to slavers. But these people are the heroes in this movie apparently. So yeah, it's not black and white with this story. The Dahomey versus French conflict, I mean, in the trailer alone to this movie, I think that literally they showed as many people dying from the French side that died in the entirety of one battle, which was 6. I mean, let's just, we'll go into this a little bit. Like I said, I'll talk about it because during their entire conflict with the French, which the French did have like Senegalese forces and other legionnaires with them, the French slaughtered these people. They're trying to take what is probably not the best example of female empowerment and trying to use it as a girl boss moment, which is, like I said, just the small, historical things that I talked about already.
That is a cunt move.
Are the reasons why this is not the, victorious moment that you think it would be.
The age of men is over.
But let's talk about this article here. I'll give you my thoughts. Please subscribe to the channel if you have not done so yet. Ding the bell for notifications, all that fun stuff. This is from Spencer Bakuli, yesterday, Bounding into Comics. According to star Viola Davis, any audience member who declines to financially support the Woman King, which she's not a king, she's a queen, and none of these were kangs. They were all basically married to the king, but he never touched any of them. They remain celibate, but we don't. They'll probably go into that in some fanciful form in the movie and ridiculous. The film in theaters is supporting the narrative that black women cannot lead the box office globally. So if you don't give this film your money, you're basically racist, is what Viola Davis is saying.
That's racist!
These warriors had success when they were fighting other tribes, but not people with guns and bayonets, and their machetes and things were largely, swords were largely useless against bayonets and rifles. Set in the historical African kingdom of Dahomey, now modern-day Benin. During the opening years of the 1820s, the Woman King tells a fictionalized version of the 1923 Dahomey Revolt, focusing on General Naniska Davis and her all-female Agoji warriors as they fight to liberate their state from the subordination under the rival of the Oyo Empire. Yeah, see, when they started fighting the French in like 1890, it was between 1890 and 1894, the two Dahomey Franco wars, they just got demolished. Like every battle, they got demolished.
Yup!
You know, Lashana Lynch is in this too, great.
Why don't you go back to your home on Whore Island?
Despite the real-world Dahomey Kingdom having heavily participated in the era's Atlantic slave trade, slavers would regularly take humans from neighboring tribes by way of war or specifically targeting restocking raids and either selling them off to Europeans or keeping them as personal property, with the practice only coming to an end thanks to the intervention of the British Navy. Reviews of the soon-to-be-released film indicate that the Woman King will handle the subject by depicting its protagonist, General Naniska, as a leading voice in the opposition of the practice.
Come on.
However, regardless of this particular stain in the kingdom's history, many reviewers have taken to lauding the film's highlight of black excellence.
And Corn Pop was a bad dude.
With comparisons to Marvel's Black Panther regularly being tossed around and in general conversations. That's funny because Black Panther was created by white guys, but okay. One such media personality was Tyrone Edwards, a current co-host of the Canadian entertainment talk show E-Talk, who not only praised the film directly to Davis during its September 12th premiere at the Toronto International Film Festival, but also inquired as to her thoughts on how audiences can help prevent the hype surrounding The Woman King and other black-led movies from just being a moment.
Shit.
I don't know what you want from this movie. It's you want to keep it from just being a moment, but at the same time, it's like, this is not like a harrowing, happy, feel-good story. I don't know. I don't know what we're. I'm not. Not just bashing on the movie, but I mean, there's certain things. I don't. Like I said, however this would be written, I'm sure. Accuracy is not one of their main points for this. I was talking to your co-star Lashana Lynch, said Edwards, and she said, I'm tired of these black movies just being a moment. And for some reason, she felt like this isn't just a moment. This can be the new normal going forward. What? Movies about slave trading? I mean, this is not the W you think it is. Viola Davis looks great. For a woman her age, she looks phenomenal. I just think the hype, it's always the hype surrounding these movies that you try to guilt people into like seeing these. And it's like, why, if your movie's that good and your story's that good, why do you need to guilt me or shame me into going to see this? Like, it's kind of a stupid marketing strategy because it turns more people away. That wasn't what I planned to ask you today, but that just really resonated with me, he added, before turning the question to Davis. What do you think about that in terms of moving forward and making this normal? Because this carpet feels different to me, and I've been doing this for a while. I mean, nobody has an issue. I don't have an issue with the fact that this movie has a black female lead. I mean, like I said, it's no big deal. But it's just the story and the subject matter you're covering and the manner you're presenting it. I don't know, and you're trying to make these people, this tribe look like, this tribe, I guess they are, try to look like heroes, and it's like, they're not really fucking heroes, To this, Davis replied, absolutely, I completely 100% agree. However, she did have one caveat, telling Edwards, but here's the thing, I'm going to have to add that. It will just be a moment if people don't come see the movie.
Shut up, bitch!
Okay, she continued, because you're sending a very clear message to a machine called Hollywood. Hollywood is interested in green. It just is. It is what I do. So if you don't come see it, then you're sending a message that black women cannot lead a box office globally. See, that's the thing right there. You're trying to shame people using race as a fucking motivating factor. Like, what sense does that make? What kind of message does that send to your audience? Like, we can clearly see that the movie it's a black-centric African nation, not nation, but tribe-centered story. Okay. It's a period piece. Okay. It's about these female warriors. All right. And then you find out the information on the tribe and what they did and how they participated in, like I said, the Atlantic slave trade. And you're like, oh, this is not a W. But, you know, I'm a bigot for saying that probably, which is funny. You are supporting that narrative, the double Suicide Squad star accused. And if you want to normalize it, come see the way you would Black Panther, Iron Man, Spider-Man, and any other movie that doesn't have any of us in it, or one or two of us in it. See, there it is right there. You're leaning on race again as a deflecting tactic to shield this movie from any criticism, any critique, and if you don't see it, you're supporting the narrative that you don't want to see black women leading movies.
Oh, what the fuck ever?
It's like at what point did these people stop real and actors in general? I don't mean Viola Davis in general, in specific. I mean actors in general feel that what they do is essential. You know, I can just as easily go watch a community theater production of fucking Rent than watch, you know, some jackass playing pretend and getting paid fucking $20 to $30 million to do it. I don't need it. In front of a green screen, which I happen to have right here, you know, get a little bit of camera, you know, I can make my movies too, you know, and it's not going to cost me $200 million. But hey, you know what? You go ahead, Hollywood. You shame us for being bigots, for not wanting to see, you know, black female-led movies that are such feel-good stories that they, you know, try to make a tribe that traded slaves look good. But
He's out of line, but he's right.
you know, that seems like a weird flex, but okay, go on. The Woman King opens in theaters on September 16th. Let's go over here and look at the official trailer. We're not going to watch the trailer because I'm not getting a copyright claim for watching this trailer. But here, let's take a look. 48,000 upvotes, 327,000 downvotes. This is the official Sony Pictures Entertainment channel. I'm surprised they haven't turned comments off. This is 10,373,302 views. Story by Maria Bello, well-known black woman Maria Bello. Here we go right here. The French attacked them because they were invading villages to capture the villagers to sell them as slaves. This is after the British blockaded them to stop them from exporting slaves in 1851. Dahomey not only got rich mainly from selling slaves, but they also performed tons of human sacrifices. But it was a one-sided defeat. Something only like 16 French died to the 1,000 to 2,000 Dahomey slave trades in the First War. Oof. That's got 949 likes. Let's see what else we have here. How accurate is the Woman King? We learned that in real life, the Dahomey are much more the villains than the heroes. The kingdom of Dahomey was a bloodthirsty society bent on conquest. It was customary for the Dahomey to return home with the rotting heads and genitals of those killed in battle. They conquered neighboring African states and took their citizens as slaves, selling more in the Atlantic slave trade exchange for items like rifles, tobacco, and alcohol. Many of the slaves they sold ended up in America. They also kept some slaves for themselves to work on royal plantations. The business of slavery is what bought Dahomey most of its wealth. For them, it very much came down to either enslave others or become enslaved yourself. The Agoji, women warriors, fought in slave raids alongside the male fighters. There are accounts of Dahomey warriors conducting slave raids on villages where they cut off the heads of the elderly and ripped the bottom jawbones off others. During the raids, they'd burn villages to the ground. Those who they let live, including the children, were taken captive and sold as slaves. The movie strategically downplays that part of Dahomey's history so as to not complicate the story with truth. Each year in Dahomey, roughly 500 slaves and criminals were mass executed in large-scale human sacrifices during the religious ceremonies of a festival known as the annual customs of Dahomey. Most are sacrificed by way of decapitation, a method of killing widely used by the Dahomeyan kings. In the 1727 annual customs of Dahomey ceremony, reportedly saw as many as 4,000 people sacrificed. These guys are the heroes of this movie.
Just quit being a cunt.
This has got 1,900 likes. I urge everyone to read up on the Kingdom of Dahomey before celebrating this film. Prepare to discover the shocking reality of slavery, how it was not single-handedly operated by European nations. The complicity of this crime runs deep and is well beyond skin color. Don't let media and Hollywood sanitize history. Another one, I'm glad this movie's coming out because its existence has brought awareness to some of the most hidden aspects of the slave trade. Yeah, an important side too. I'm sick of people thinking Europeans went to Africa and simply herded Africans onto boats. That could not be further from the truth. Oh, here we go. Harmon K. I like the part in the movie where the warriors beat the white man and restored the tradition of selling slaves. Very heartwarming indeed. Oh, here it is. Did you say something similar about the movie 300 or The Godfather? How come you only feel triggered when it's about black people?
Oh, God. All sorts of things have gone wrong.
The Godfather doesn't glorify it. See the end of the trilogy. It's not wrong. Yes, I did say the exact same thing about 300. What's next? I love the scene where the mustache-twirling white slaver guy says, "It's slaving time," and the loincloth Amanda Waller shouted, "This is for George Floyd!" And the woman kinged all over him. One of the best scenes of all of 2022.
Kill Whitey!
Then everyone kneeled and got vaxxed and it was over.
Now comes the part where we throw our heads back and laugh. Ready?
Ready!
Then he looks directly at Viola Davis and says, "It's you, Viola. You're the woman king." I love the part where Viola Davis yelled for the 13 and then committed 50% of all violent crimes against the slave trade.
I know what you did. You're a damn pedant. All right, just get the hell out of here. I got a goddamn
I can't believe the George Floyd statue survived all this time. What a monument. My favorite part was learning that sometimes the real kings are women you meet on the way. Love that part. Can't wait to go see it again tomorrow while wearing my favorite Woman King t-shirt. Just gotta wash it up because somehow I Woman Kinged all over it already. In the DVD box set, there's a great deleted scene where they smash and destroy and set fire to local villages in the name of their rights. Heart-wrenching stuff. I love the part where the Woman King yells, "White people are the only ones that can be racist." I literally started crying from the goosebumps because I was shaking. The scene where Black Panther kicks Nelson Mandela in a pit and screams, "This is Hogwarts," gave me chills. The historical accuracy is amazing. During a battle with French soldiers at Adijan on October 6th during the second, it's the Franco-Dahomey War, the bulk of the Amazon Corps were wiped out in a matter of hours in hand-to-hand combat with when the French engaged them with a bayonet charge. The Dahomey lost 86 regulars and 417 Amazons, with nearly all those deaths being inflicted by bayonets. The French lost 6.
Damn!
Oh, here we go. The slavery part seems useless to mention. Useless to mention. You haven't seen the film. I hope they depict the historical context as well, but the story isn't about black slavery anyways. Plus, all the verified informations we have about the number of deaths are European sources, not entirely reliable according to the academics, but the film seems fun and powerful. Let's not debate about these details before we've seen the film.
Stop it. Get some help.
It's literally based on historical events, and it's sanitized for the sake of empowerment because modern audiences couldn't handle the truth. I don't know. I mean, I know there's people that are actually going to look into it and be like, damn, what? I don't know. This seems like it's getting used as propaganda. Woman King, you mean Queen? Also, I hope we get to see the annual customs of Dahomey. Seems like a happy time. Really asking yourself, this is Indiana Jesus responding to Black League's comment, really ask yourself, is the problem that a black woman's playing it, or that it's based off someone who was a slaver, who enslaved people, sold them for alcohol and guns, or used them for human sacrifice? That's 100% true. And that's why the French fought with them in the first place, which butchered hundreds of them, and of which they only managed to kill 6 French soldiers, who are the good guys in this situation, actually. They could use the same actors in similar settings and made a movie about a Nubian queen who fought back against the Romans successfully, and it wouldn't be a shit show. Don't let Hollywood use horrible examples of black pride under the guise of, if you're against this, you're racist, even though it's a historical event that no one should support.
That is correct.
I hear Sony's working on a new film centered on a German death camp operator bravely defending his way of life against the invading American, British, and Russian armies. Keep the furnace fires burning. Of course, 97% on Rotten Tomatoes for its stunning and bravery. Let's take a look at some of the reviews here from the top critics, the people who matter. Could have used less of the turgid melodrama that clutters up so many other period pieces. That's from Josh Bell, who gave it a rotten score. Douglas Edwards here. Look at Douglas, the weekend warrior. For me, bringing the story of Naniska and the Agoji to modern audiences is just as much of an achievement as creating such an emotionally powerful film. 9 out of 10. Jonathan Hickman. What we really want to see is an athletic Viola Davis wielding a curved blade vanquishing her foes. And when we see her in action, the Woman King is bloody marvelous. Well, not many people. She didn't get to vanquish many people because all the female warriors got fucking slaughtered because they couldn't beat the French. So, yeah. Richard Krause. Let's look at Richard Krause. The Woman King is a character-driven epic, one that tempers the rousing action scenes with powerful interpersonal relationships to keep us engaged. It feels like an old-fashioned action movie, but with a fresh and fascinating update. Right, buddy. Right. A fresh and fascinating update about slavers who the white people were trying to stop from, I don't know. The British were trying to stop them from, I don't know. Viola Davis owns The Woman King, a movie every bit as majestic and monumental as its title implies. Oh, here's Michael Phillips. The film is driven by what makes its characters and conflicts tick. It's freely fictionalized, and some of it's overpacked, but The Woman King feels human-made, not machine-learned. 3.5 out of 4. Jesus. While the film features many scenes of battlegrounds and melees with swords and axes swinging and connecting, the violence in the story resides more in the human heart than in any weapon. Viola Davis towers in a fierce and gut-wrenching portrayal of courage. The Woman King is literally unlike any film I have seen. Viola and a sublime supporting cast grace a sweeping narrative that touches many difficult issues. Yeah, you're rooting for the bad guys in this, you dipshit.
He chose poorly.
Offering complicated substance along with its spectacle, The Woman King is a thrilling film that no doubt will be a crowd pleaser. Right. Look at this guy. This guy looks guilty to be white. Equally a thrilling historical epic and intimate character study, it's both familiar and fresh with a superb ensemble cast and stellar production values. In the epic story of African women warriors, aka Virgin Warriors, led by General Naniska, the fourth known as Viola Davis, is Wonder Woman, Black Panther, and the Ten Commandments rolled up into a larger-than-life historical act and drama that's fictionalized down to every aspect. Here's stupid.
So...
Grace Randolph.
Well,
Phenomenal, strong awards contender for sure. A complex film with both great action and compelling drama. It doesn't shy away from the horrors of slavery and Africa's marvelous atrocities. Probably the role of Davis's career is surrounded by a stellar cast.
that's just a car.
And it goes on and on. Except this one, Paul Attard. Surface-level feminist subtext gives The Woman King a pass to indulge in the same conventional cliches as other films of its ilk. The formulaic action and predictable storytelling beats are now in service of a lot of Disney-fied girl boss energy. The Woman King is more proof that given the opportunity, women can perform as well, if not better, than their male counterparts at stereotypically male pursuits. This guy gets pegged. It's about mothers and daughters, about strength and power, and it is an absolute triumph. The Woman King stands above the rest.
You out of your goddamn mind.
Here's Katie Rife, whose name is probably Ken from Polygon. This film has fire in its belly, but more importantly, it has a heart full of love. Love of life, love of freedom, love of black people and culture, love for its ferocious, complicated, brave...
Tonight, right after Animal House, Eric Estrada and Howard Hessman meet the Dream Girls.
Hi.
Of every man's fantasy.
I'll just knock you dead.
Morgan Fairchild, Linda Carter, Kathy Lee Crosby, Victoria Principal, and much, much more. Beautiful. They're the sexiest super ladies on the scene. They're the women who rate a 10 later tonight.
So that's it. We touched on a little bit of the history of the Dahomey versus the French conflict. And yeah, this is not really that much of a triumphant story. This is not good overcoming evil. There's a lot of subtlety, nuance, and gray area here. And I'm sure there's some positives to be derived from the movie. But, I mean, as somebody who regularly gets blamed for all the ills of the world, including the subject matter of the Dahomey conflict with the French was... it's hard for me to, sympathize with this, people getting called out. This is Hollywood. This is a Hollywood thing, ladies and gentlemen. But somebody chose to pick the story and try to make these folks, the Dahomey, protagonist in it, which, like you said, you even heard one reviewer saying that, it's fiction and it doesn't matter. It's like, well, you're trying to, if anybody did anything, like, what if that was reversed? What if that was completely 180 and say you're in the South during, this, I know it's a different time period, but just work with me here and say you're in the South during the times when, slavery was a thing and they tried to make the slave owners out to look good. You can't do that. You just can't. And I'm saying that, and it just doesn't work. You can't juxtapose those two things. It's not meant to happen that way. But that's it, folks. That's all I got. Those are my thoughts. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Be sure to ding the bell for notifications. If you're not already subscribed, you can join. 2 tiers. You guys know the drill. I appreciate all the support. I'm Etepo Kuyin of The Place to Be Reviews. I've been here with all of you. If I don't see you, have a great day, a pleasant tomorrow, and I'll catch you on the next one.
It's better to burn out than to fade away.
I could do this all.